Hey guys, Eataway here, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be going over 5 things that I think would make FIFA 20 the best FIFA ever. These are going to cover the entire game, not just Ultimate Team, and will make it more enjoyable and fun for the wider player base, and will just make FIFA a much better game. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to see some of these things in the new FIFA when it is released in September. Hopefully you guys do enjoy, leave a like, let me know if you agree with these points down below in the comments, and let me know anything else you think would help improve FIFA 20. And without further ado, let's go on into it. The first improvement is a very obvious and very much needed one. It's a big revamp to both Pro Clubs and Career Mode. These two game modes have so much potential but have changed very insignificantly since their first implementation into the FIFA franchise, which was nearly a decade ago now. Everyone plays Ultimate Team and no one really touches these game modes nowadays because they simply haven't changed with anything major that's made them actually fun to play. These game modes get boring after a short amount of time simply because there's not much to do on them. But EA focus all of their attention and money onto Ultimate Team because it's their cash cow. That is what gives them a lot of financial revenue because of microtransactions with FIFA points, and there isn't something like that in Career Mode or Pro Clubs, so EA really don't focus on them. But there's so much potential with these game modes, and if EA were to improve them and do a big revamp on both these games, it would bring in so many more casual players who don't play Ultimate Team, who've maybe moved away now to games like Football Manager, which offer a more realistic football management experience. And EA just need to draw inspiration from games like that and Top 11, which have so many more options when it comes to managing a team. A game like Top 11, it's a free-to-play game you can get on your computer or on your phone, and they have so much more customization. With your club, you can upgrade your stadium, your ticket office, your training grounds, and the entire surrounding area of your club and its infrastructure over time. As your club grows, you can invest more money into it, you can add more seats to your stadium, that's going to bring in more revenue in the future for your club, and you can grow as a club on a global scale from just being a small kind of local town team to being a global mega team. And that's not something you can do on Ultimate Team. If you take over Swindon Town, they're going to stay as being Swindon Town with their small stadium and everything like that, even if you get them into the Champions League, which just isn't realistic. You should be able to upgrade your stadium, bring in more money from that. You should be able to have more of an influence maybe on shirt sales and things like that. There's so much more customization with a game mode like Career Mode. There's also a lot that could happen with player development, both on Career Mode, with training and your youth academies, which currently don't really have that much of an impact. Like, you don't tend to use many youth players, it tends to be players you just sign. But also on Pro Clubs, player development is huge, and I think there's a lot of potential upgrades we could see there. And again, a lot more customization with Pro Clubs, building your own club rather than just kind of being able to change the name, the kit, and that's about it. You should be able to build a club as a whole, and instead of just having your own players and your friends who have their own players as the only players that kind of can get upgraded, and then having to play with all the same AI players whose stats just aren't anywhere near as good as you, even if you've upgraded over time, they don't really upgrade. You should be able to bring in other teammates into your Pro Club, maybe off the market, like on Ultimate Team, or being able to sign them like on Career Mode, to bring in not necessarily real players, but better versions of players into your Pro Club so it can improve and you can have a better squad. There's so many improvements with both of these game modes. I haven't even scraped the surface with them. Let me know down below anything you think would improve these game modes, but it's so important that EA focus on them and just bring in whole-scale improvements across the board, because there's so much potential here, but it's just wasted because EA don't focus on it. Next up is another obvious one, and again, it's so needed. Smooth, consistent, fun gameplay. The gameplay of FIFA 19 has been nothing short of terrible. There's so many issues with it. It's not fun to play. There's so many broken mechanics, like El Tornado crosses, La Croquetas, earlier on in the game, finesse shots, especially timed finesse shots. There's so many broken mechanics and it's just not fun to play. If you want to play the game for fun, you have to play the game not really to win, because you're a lot less likely to win. If you want to win, you have to play to a set meta, and if you deviate from that, you're going to be at a disadvantage. In previous FIFAs, you could kind of play how you wanted, and you'd still be able to win games and have fun. Like FIFA 12, FIFA 13, FIFA 14, yes, you had certain things that were maybe a little bit overpowered, like pace or crossing, but you could still play the game and have fun. You could do a lot of skill moves. You weren't forced into playing to a set meta, which is what FIFA 19 has turned into, and it's just not fun. Like, I play FIFA as a game to have fun. So if I want to actually play and win games, I have to play differently. So if I play and do skills and just kind of have fun and pass it about, I don't do as well as someone who just abuses the same meta and just spams El Tornado crosses to Ibrahimovic and does La Croquetas out wide. The gameplay is not fun. It's also very inconsistent. There's so many bugs and glitches with it. And it's not smooth as well. There's a lot of lag. The servers could do with a revamp. I know that is something that would cost a huge amount of money and that EA probably won't do, but that would definitely solve the issues when it comes to gameplay, because it can be very laggy and annoying at times, and it's very inconsistent. Like, you could play one weekend league and it's going to be nice, smooth gameplay, you're enjoying it. Next weekend league, or even the next day, like Saturday of the weekend league, it's all good, and then Sunday the gameplay is just going to feel completely different. It's like you're playing a different game. The gameplay is that different. So it needs to be consistent, it needs to be smooth. I think fast-paced gameplay would be more fun, and that's the main thing. It needs to be fun, it needs to be enjoyable, because right now, the game itself isn't that fun. You can have more enjoyment on the menus, whether that be opening packs, trading, investing, doing the bronze pack method, doing league SBCs. There's more to do, and I find that more fun than actually playing the game itself, which isn't how it should be. That should be fun, but it should be not as good as playing the game itself. Playing football. FIFA is of course a football game, and you want to be able to play football on it. So we need good gameplay. Simple as that. It needs to be fun and enjoyable. That's by far and away the most important thing, I think, for any FIFA. It's the gameplay. If the gameplay isn't fun, then that FIFA isn't going to be particularly good. If you think of all the best FIFAs, the older ones like FIFA 12, FIFA 13, FIFA 14, they were fun because the gameplay was arcadey, it was fast-paced, it was smooth, and it was enjoyable. So that is what EA need to do. Focus on gameplay, make it fun, and it will make FIFA 20 so much better. Moving on, the next few things are all going to be about Ultimate Team, the biggest game mode in FIFA 20, and one that will definitely receive a lot of attention from EA. We will see some improvements within this game mode going into the new game, and hopefully some of them are going to be a few of the things I'm going to cover right now. The first one is quite small, but I think would have a huge impact on the game and would make it so much more fun. It's monthly objectives. I personally really enjoy the grinding aspect of things like League SBC grinding, weekly objectives, and foot swap. But I think monthly objectives would be a way of bringing this up a notch. You could have some really tough requirements that would take a lot of effort, but that would really give you good rewards. For example, you could get a guaranteed icon pack. You could get a pack that gave you 5 players from the team of the weeks within that month. You could get a pack that gave you an 88 rated player or above. You could get a special version of Cristiano Ronaldo if you scored 100 goals throughout the month with pack pulled Juventus players. You could get a 100k pack if you played 10 games with a bronze team. You could get like maybe a 90 plus rated pack if you scored 250 goals with first owner players throughout the month. Really tough objectives that would take a lot of effort and a lot of grinding towards, but would really motivate you into playing the game and wanting to reap the benefits of putting the effort in. I think the most fun thing for me in FIFA 19 has been the grinding aspect of things like League SBCs, the weekly objectives, foot swap, that kind of stuff there. More so than the gameplay, because the gameplay really hasn't been that enjoyable this year. And I think it's the same for a lot of other people. Nepenthes, for example, has built a whole Road to Glory series around grinding the game, not spending any money, putting effort into the game and reaping the rewards from that. And monthly objectives, I think, would be a great thing for the more hardcore and dedicated players who don't spend money on the game or spend little money on the game and want to get very good players for actually putting in the effort. And it would be an amazing feature from EA. I would personally really enjoy it. It would give you the motivation to log into Ultimate Team each day, and you could have a whole host of different objectives, varying from fairly easy ones to complete, like log into Ultimate Team every day throughout the month, or maybe play 50 games throughout the month, something that's fairly easy. They might give you like a 125k pack or something, but it could be all the way up to scoring 200 goals in Foot Champions with an icon throughout the month or something like that, and that could give you a prime icon pack, something really hard to grind towards that not many people would be able to do, but the few people that did would really reap the rewards and get themselves a very good player. Things like that I think would really improve the game, and I think this, although it's quite a small thing, is probably one of the things I want the most in FIFA 20. It would be so good. Next up, we're sticking with Ultimate Team and its customization within FUT. This is something I covered for both career mode and pro clubs, but I think it would also be great within Ultimate Team. Currently, you've got your Ultimate Team, and by that, you just kind of have your squad of 11 players and your bench and reserves. I think you should be able to build your ultimate club. You should be able to build your own stadium, kits, badges, everything like that. And that could actually have an impact on your club and your coin balance. You could build kits and create kits and badges and sell them on the market. If someone liked your design, it was a really cool one, they could maybe spend like 4 or 5k on it, which wouldn't seem like a huge amount, but in the long run, if you created a really popular kit, lots of people would buy it, you can make loads of coins from that. I don't know why we don't have a kit creator and a badge creator within Ultimate Team, because we've got it in pro clubs. There's no copyright issues with it. I just don't know why it's not in Ultimate Team. You could build your own stadium, and that could affect the amount of match coins you get back. If you have a stadium with like 200,000 seats, a massive arena that you might have to spend a lot of coins on building and upgrading over time, you could be getting back like 4 or 5k per game you play, instead of the normal kind of 500 or 600 coins you get as your match earnings, which is fairly insignificant given the amount of coins you get back from things like FUT Champs and how easy it is to make coins by trading and doing SBCs. The match earnings you get are fairly irrelevant, but you could change that and get loads of coins back if you had a bigger stadium. You could build your ultimate club and just have more customization, not just in terms of kits, badges, stadiums and the things we currently have in the game, but also with your players. You should be able to customize their boots, the types of things you can do in pro clubs, and be a pro, all those types of game modes. You should be able to maybe customize like the shirts they're wearing, the length, the tightness, so whether they have long sleeves, short sleeves, if they have tape, gloves, the length of their socks, loads of things like that. You should be able to change it all and make your team look how you want, play in the stadium you want with the kits and badges you want. There's so much customization available here. It's such an easy thing because it's literally already in the game, just not in the game mode of Ultimate Team. So you literally just need to flick a switch, I imagine, and it would be in Ultimate Team. And it would make it a lot better. You'd have more customization. It would be more fun. EA, do it. My fifth and final point, again, it's in Ultimate Team. It's cross-console gameplay and a cross-console market. Firstly, we've already had a cross-console market across both PS4, Xbox One and PC in previous FIFAs. I think it was removed in FIFA 16 to combat coin selling, which is no longer really an issue, so I don't know why we can't bring it back, because currently we've got different markets with different prices, and the PC market is completely screwed because there's very few players on that game, so players are just really high in value. If the markets were all merged together, it would cause players to drop down in value, everyone would be more affordable, it would be better for the whole player base, especially people on PC who are really screwed at the moment just because of the price of players there. But also with gameplay, it's weird having, for example, in the pro FIFA scene, having a PS4 section and then an Xbox section, and then the winners of each of those two sections then play each other with a game on each console. There's no other pro esport games that are like that at all. Most games nowadays have cross-console gameplay. Fortnite, for example, not only can an Xbox One player play with a PS4 player, but a PC player can play with a PS4 player. An Xbox One player can play with a Nintendo Switch player. You have so many different options when it comes to playing. Like, I'm on Xbox One, I want to be able to play my mates that are on PS4, or even on PC. Not that I have any mates that play FIFA on PC. I don't know anyone that plays FIFA on PC, but there are people that play that game. They should be able to play with people who are on PS4, on Xbox One, everything. People should be able to play cross-console. It's something that's with a lot of games nowadays, not just Fortnite, which has really revolutionised the gaming scene, but also games like Rocket League, which I think was did it even before Fortnite. There's so many games nowadays where you can play a cross-console, and I think it's vital that we have this. At least, maybe not in FIFA 20, because I think it's quite a big change with the servers, but in the coming FIFA titles, we've got to see cross-console gameplay, and I think a cross-console market is very easy to implement. With both these things though, they probably would need to upgrade their servers, just because there would be a lot more force, and not force, but a lot more server load on them, because you'd have all of the different markets and all the games all conglomerated onto one server, whereas nowadays I think you've got PS4 server, Xbox server and a PC server. So yeah, I think they would actually have to get new servers, which would be a good thing because that would improve the game as a whole. We may have some issues to do with like less smooth gameplay because of this, but I think having a market and also just a game in general that's combined together would be so good, rather than having all these different split up sections of different FIFAs. I mean, the game almost plays differently on PS4 as it does on Xbox, and when you get to an esport level and the two sides, the PS4 player and Xbox player, are playing each other and they swap consoles, it's just weird, and you don't have that with any other games. And since EA are trying to force FIFA as an esport, it would make sense for them to do this, and not just for the wider player base who aren't obviously esport players, but who just want to be able to play with their mates who are on other consoles, whether that be on Ultimate Team or whether that be maybe just like playing pro clubs or something with them. And also when it comes to FUT Champions as well, if you live in quite an obscure area of the world where there aren't a huge amount of other FIFA players, like in Asia for example, where FIFA isn't that big, and you want to play FUT Champs, you have quite a small player base because, let's say you're on Xbox, you've just got the Xbox players in that part of the world in FUT Champs. So you end up playing the same people a lot of the time. I think Nick28T ends up playing a lot of the same people a lot, and he lives in Canada, which is literally where FIFA comes from. So in places like Australia, in Asia, in Africa, there's a lot of parts of the world where FIFA isn't as big because football isn't as big. And you don't really have that many people to play. The gameplay is often quite bad, but if you merge it all together and had PS4 players, Xbox players and PC players all playing together, that would also solve that issue. So this is something which I think would be quite a big change. It would be quite hard for EA to do, but it would have a really, really big impact on the game and it would definitely improve it. It wouldn't just help Ultimate Team, it would help the entire game because you've got a lot of other online games too. But anyway, there we go. That is going to be it. Those are 5 things I think would massively improve FIFA 20 and make it the best FIFA yet. Let me know down below if you agree with these. Let me know any other points you think I may have missed, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.